Jennifer, I've been researching old legacies from hundreds of years ago. I've discovered a smashing one.
Legacies? What's a legacy, Aunt Miranda?
A legacy is anything that is passed down through a family from one generation to another. It's another way of describing something you inherit from your family. These old legacies are rewards that towns gave to families of people who were heroes or did other special things.
They gave a reward to a whole family so anyone born in that family forever gets rewarded?
Something like that. I'll tell you more when you get here. I need your help to finish my research. Please come round to the British Library at the British Museum straight away.
Cool, we're on our way, Aunt Miranda. What's up? Aunt Miranda is talking with that policewoman.
I've examined the law Miss Eagle has found, and it seems quite valid. But does anyone make shields and armour these days? I suspect not.
Jennifer, this is Officer Bardbrook from the London neighbourhood of Hampstead. She says this ancient proclamation I found is still in effect.
According to the law, any maker of shields can claim a prize from the people of Hampstead once every 100 years. But they must descend from a family of shield makers.
The proclamation describes a lovely old ceremony. They test a shield to see if it's as strong as ancient armour. Then they have a grand party with games and dancing. It would make a great story.
But remember, to claim the prize, a person must meet the conditions exactly. The law is the law.
Can you children help me out? Find out if anyone around here still makes shields. Maybe we'll discover that their ancestors were shield makers too. Maybe Nigel can assist you. He's gone with one of his friends to Kenilworth Castle to see a medieval fair.
Wow, this scroll must be hundreds of years old. It's so old some of the words are strange. They're spelled very different than how we spell them today. Fortunately for us, Aunt Miranda has written out a translation. I think that means a shield saved her husband's life, and in return she established Bronwyn's bequest. Excellent! All we have to do is find a maker of shields whose parents or grandparents or great-great-grandparents made shields, and Aunt Miranda will have her party. Hurry up or we'll miss our train. To get to Kenilworth Castle, we take the train northwest to Coventry. I've always wanted to go to one of these fairs. People dress up, talk, and act like they did in medieval times. All of the fun and none of the bad stuff like plagues and wars. Look, people wearing armor. Who made their shields, I wonder? Maybe Nigel and his friend Gay know. We'll tell them what Aunt Miranda has found.
An old legacy, eh? Mom startles me sometimes. She'll leave no page unturned on her way to a good story. These fairs are amazing. The medieval period in Europe, which people call the Middle Ages, lasted from about 600 AD to 1500 AD. It ended 500 years ago, but look at all these people dressed up like medieval knights and ladies. Gay and I have just been round to see the smithies who make the armor and weapons for the fairs. Gay's very keen on all this medieval stuff. She's starting a collection of old swords and daggers. They're fake ones, of course. 2 of the smithies are here at the fair, but we know another one back in London. He's got a shop in Covent Garden. He makes some really lovely shields.
Here's something that might help you track people's ancestors. Did you know that your last name may reveal what your family did for a living almost 1,000 years ago?
Right. Our family tells the story of Percival Eagle the falconer. He trained a huge eagle for the king, a most impressive thing to do. That's how our family got the last name Eagle.
Yes, and people named Taylor had an ancestor who was a tailor. Clerks were clerks, and so on. Because so many people were smiths, we have lots of smiths today.
Let me guess, Gay. One of your ancestors was a great archer?
No, but that was a good guess. My ancestors were skilled makers of bows, which were important weapons at that time. English archers were famous throughout Europe for their accuracy with the longbow.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you one of the smiths here at the medieval fair?
Yes, indeed. Right now I'm working in wood with hammer and chisel and rasp.
Wood? I thought smiths worked with metal.
No, actually a smith was anyone who hammered something into shape. It was most often metal, but it could be wood or leather too. Some smiths were skilled in making things out of leather with metal decoration.
We're interested in people who make shields for the people dressed in armor. Do you make shields?
Yes, indeed. For quite a while shields made all of metal were too heavy to carry, so smiths made them out of wood and sometimes put a sheet of metal on the front. Several of the shields being used in the mock battles today are shields that I made from wood and hammered steel. Mock battles are pretend battles like those from the Middle Ages, but no one gets hurt.
Hello, what can I do for you two today? Perhaps an elegant circlet for you, young Guinevere? And a nice shirt of chainmail for your friend? What do you say?
This is great! The people at these medieval fairs even talk like in the old times. Let's see if I can sound like a medieval detective. Nay, sir, my worthy companion and I are on a quest for the best shield in the land. Have you any, pray tell?
Alas, young Guinevere, I have no shields, for I make only body armour and the occasional helm. Charles Armour is my name, and armour has been the trade of my family for generations.
I guess a helm is another word for a helmet. Generations, you say. Do you have ancestors who made armor for a living?
All the way back to the Norman Conquest in the year 1066, fair maid. And yes, helm is another word for helmet. And if ye can tell me who became King of England in the year 1066 AD, I'll give ye a bracelet of steel for thy wrist, young Guinevere.
Cool. We'll try, kind sir. I think we can find that out by looking in our Eagle Eye Handbook. The chart of monarchs shows who ruled England and when for the last 1,000 years. Check your chart of monarchs to find out who ruled England in 1066.
Most excellent. For your wisdom I grant thee a bracelet of steel for thy wrist, young Guinevere.
Cool. How do you think he knew my name? Could it just be a coincidence because of the old story of Arthur and Guinevere? Guinevere is how they used to say Jennifer, you know. Wow, this guy does some pretty wild stuff. He must be an artist. Hello, sir. I see you have shields on display. They are really beautiful. Are they art, or are they real shields?
These are real shields. I suppose most people who buy them never use them as shields, but they could if they had to. After I make the shields, I paint them with old family crests and symbols. My shields are as strong as any you'd find in the armoury at the Tower of London. Those were used in real battles.
What is your name? Do you know if any of your ancestors ever made shields like you do?
My name is Al Fortescue. It's not an English name, it's French. I expect that some of my forebearers also made shields, although I don't know for sure. If you're really all that keen on genealogy, the study of family histories, you might want to pop by the British Library. They've got a terrific genealogy section there.
I bet some books about surnames can tell us more about the history of people's last names. Officer Barbrook is here. I wonder if she is searching for more information about Bronwyn's bequest.
But the gentle knight, kneeling found, his hands of steel could ne'er go around. No.
Excuse me, officer. Is that poetry you're reading?
Oh, hello, children. You can call me Miss Barbrook. I'm off duty. Actually, it's poetry I'm writing, or trying to write, about a lady and her knight. Bronwyn and Idris, actually. Hampstead is one of the hearts of literary London. You know, many great English poets live there. So when I arrest criminals there, I read them a bit of my poetry. Want to hear some?
Maybe some other time, Miss Barbrook. Right now, we have to find an heir to Bronwyn's bequest, so Aunt Miranda will have her big story, and all of Hampstead can have a party.
Right. Of course. Carry on, then. Hope you find your shield maker. Plenty of shields in here, but they were all made hundreds of years ago.
We've got the shield thing nailed down. Pick the clues you think will convince Officer Barbrook. I think those are the right clues. Now point out the person who's entitled to Bronwyn's bequest. Bronwyn's bequest had some very specific terms. We had to find a person currently making real shields, and that person had to have an ancestor who also made shields. We found 3 different people who still made armor, mostly for the people who like to reenact medieval times at fairs. But did they make shields? Charles Armour didn't. He said he only made armor, like coats of mail and helmets. So he wasn't eligible for Bronwyn's bequest. Marissa Burney made shields, but we found out her surname, Burney, meant her medieval forebears probably made chainmail, not shields. That ruled her out. But when we looked up the name Fortescue, we found that it meant strong shield in Old French. Al Fortescue's ancestors probably made sturdy shields, just like he does today.